You're listening to Bodify Insider from Bodify Functional Fitness.
Muy buenas tardes, noches. Bienvenidos al podcast Bodify Insider. Dando la bienvenida a mi estimadísimo Pedro Sáenz. ¿Cómo estamos, Pete?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Coming from Dallas, Texas. It's High Rocks weekend in Dallas. Chuy's in Mexico City. He's got Deca Fit on Sunday. So we're just all hybrid out. You know, we just had Deca last weekend at Bodify. So we are all about hybrid this time of year.
And there's
sure. We've transitioned from Spartan to hybrid this part
and there's
of the
some
year.
good news coming up, right? Soon.
Super good news. Yes, be on the lookout. We have tons of stuff coming out in 2026. And yeah, just be on the lookout, read your emails, look out on our socials. We are going to announce something really cool coming up for 2026. So stay tuned.
Perfecto. Y una de las cosas que queríamos platicar el día de hoy para la gente que nos escucha, people that are listening to the podcast, es una de las cosas que habíamos estado platicando Pete y yo, y creo que muchos años siempre lo recordamos porque por aquí también viene mucho de la historia de Bodify, pero creo que todos en algún punto hemos pertenecido a algún gimnasio, ¿no? Un gimnasio que tú llegas y tiene todas las amenidades, tiene 1000 cosas y probablemente como en mi momento yo no sabía usar ni la mitad de las cosas, no sabía ni estructurar un workout, sí estaba muy padre la llavecita que me daban y así escanear, entraba, pero pues la verdad nadie me notaba, nadie decía hola, nadie me decía qué tal Chuy, nadie básicamente era un número más de las cientos o miles de miembros que tenía este lugar, ¿no? Y muchas veces estamos en este tipo de lugares y ¿qué hacemos, no? Pues si ya llegamos con un plan, pues al menos cosas que vimos en YouTube, ¿no? Vamos y hacemos cosas que vemos en YouTube y de repente, híjole, traía plan de usar esa máquina, pero ni se han quitado, nomás están platicando, bueno, voy a usar esta y luego, que también está ocupada. Entonces, tal vez tu plan no sale del todo bien. ¿Qué terminas haciendo? Te vas a una caminadora y terminas haciendo tus 15, 10, 20 minutos de cardio y ahí fue tu día de rutina de que fuiste al gym, ¿no? Así que creo que muchos hemos pasado por esto, Pedro. Does it ring the bell for you?
Absolutely. It's just very cold, you know, and look, let me preface this whole thing with every gym is a good gym. Every gym that gets people moving, that gets people anything to do anything, you know, physical at all, you know, is a good place to be, you know. So I have nothing against any gym out there. They're all good in a certain sense, you know. But yes, you know, when I started, it's you know, there was Gold's Gym, there was Rock, you know. When I lived in San Antonio, there was those big box gyms, and I went and you know, they're all pretty much the same. They have, like you said, a bunch of equipment that most people don't know how to use. They have the cardio equipment that everybody just ends up on, you know, bored out of their mind, you know, listening to music or watching something on their screen. But yeah, I think big box gyms, you know, 80 to 90% of the people in those places don't know what they're doing. You know, there's zero accountability in those big box gyms. You walk into those places, and if you're a first timer or you're a beginner, it's the most intimidating place you've ever seen in your life. The minute you walk into that place, you know, there's a bunch of fit people, you know, or a bunch of confused people there, and you know, you walk in and nobody's telling you what to do. You know, nobody knows your name. You know, they'll point you in the right direction. There's the locker room. This is this, and this is that. And there you go. Go for it. Here's your key card. So, there's no real roadmap on how to be successful, and I think that's where, we found each other, me, Chuy, Tony, Mundo, Dan, was in the fact that when we started thinking about this thing, it was born there at Bean at Gold's Gym, and don't get me wrong, I love that place, but I knew what I needed to do there, and I'm pretty disciplined, and I could get something out of it. But most people, that's not the norm. But our idea was born there. We just look around, and nobody knew what they were doing. They were either bored out of their mind, or they would just come and walk on a treadmill instead of walking outside or running outside, and then go home. Or, they were gonna get hurt. There was a bunch of people in there doing crazy shit that they had no idea what they were doing. And the more we talked about it, like, we can do this shit better. Like, we can provide a place that can solve all these problems. So that's where the idea was born. It came out of what we saw at a big box gym. For sure.
Justo esto es lo que quería también platicar, es como, we're talking about like, more or less like 2015, 2016, when the conversation started, or even before?
I think when we started hanging out, and talking and stuff, I think it was like 2014. So this is about 12 years ago, 11 years ago, when we were, all at Gold's Gym, and then we finally took that one group training class with Tony, and that we had that spark, and like, ooh, once we saw what that class could do, I think it sparked me, it sparked Tony, it sparked you. Hey, this part works. All the rest of this shit does not work for most people, but this works. How do we make this ours, and how do we do it better? It was that T90X class that Tony talked you into doing, talked me into doing, and really sparked this whole thing.
Y una de las cosas que siempre estuvo desde ese momento, ese pensamiento, fue el cómo ayudamos mejor a las personas, cómo hacemos una comunidad en la cual gente como Pete, como Tony, como Mundo, o sea, muchos miembros que vienen desde entonces, como Jen Serna, como digo, Coach Dan, que también tiene años con Bodify. O sea, cómo podemos juntar toda esta gente y realmente proveer algo que sea sustentable, duradero, divertido y sobre todo que la gente realmente vea beneficios. Entonces, desde año 1, créanme que hasta la fecha, o sea, digo, Pete está a punto de también de lanzar otra cosa nueva en ¿qué? Next week? You're going to release something next week?
Yeah, probably next week, yeah.
Y una de las conversaciones que digo, en los últimos años que también estuve formando parte del equipo y todo eso, siempre era cómo mejoramos la experiencia, cómo damos mejores resultados, y no porque no estuvieran ahí, simplemente porque, no sé, nos amamos tanto lo que hacemos que siempre queremos ver cómo tener mejor a nuestros miembros. O sea, nos da tanto gusto cuando vemos a alguien, por ejemplo, ciertos miembros de los que recuerdo. Uno de ellos, recuerdo el día, lo invitaste a una clase, entró a la clase. En el calentamiento, esta persona dijo, no puedo. On the warm-up.
Yeah.
No puedo. ¿Ok?
Yeah.
Entonces, le dimos un plan, le dimos guía. Desde luego comenzó con entrenamiento personal con Coach Nino. Y una de las cosas que más gusto me da es que esa persona en los últimos días que también estuve viendo era ya haciendo DECA. ¿Ok?
Yeah.
Algo que mucha gente dice, yo no estoy listo para eso. No, yo no puedo hacer eso. No, eso es para mí. Entonces, a lo que voy es cómo ese tipo de historias hace que Bodify siga buscando más. Y creo que ese es el gran diferenciador de un gimnasio donde eres solamente un número, a donde realmente tienes una comunidad, tanto de miembros como de coaches, que además de que te apoyan, te empujan de una manera segura a que sigas mejorando y buscando más, ¿no?
Yeah, I mean, and it all starts with, we do it for the right reasons. It's always about the member. It's Bodify is always about the member. No matter when we started, honestly, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. It's just we did it. I knew business. Tony knew how to train. Fuck it, let's do it. And it turned the community part that happened by itself, man. It was just you invite the right amount of people, the right type of people, and they start flocking together. They build their own community. We lit the spark, and we gave them a place to do this, but the community grows by itself, and now obviously we hire the right type of person. My staff members are the best. They're amazing. They're good people. They're in it for the right reasons. So they help mold this community. We have a set of standards that we run the business by, and the members that come believe in those standards, in those in what we do. My coaches, I'll put them up against anybody. They're the best in the business, and because we all think alike, we all know it's about the member experience. We innovate because we want to push our members to do crazy shit that is totally out of their comfort zone, that we know that they're capable of, and how important that type of stuff is. I'm super passionate about this. I 30 minutes is not enough for me to talk about this. When we start talking about Spartan and hybrid racing, and even just our Bodify Strong program, and how wonderful that program is. And the new thing we're popping out is just as wonderful, and I'm super excited about it. We right before this, we just had a meeting about it. So Bodify, just it came about because we wanted to solve all the problems that we saw. And I think over time, we have done a really good job in making it a wonderful member experience. And I think it keeps on growing through referrals. Our members bring their friends and their family members because they believe in what we do. And that's what sets us apart from, I think, other places. I mean, everybody says they have community.
For example, Dean, tell me, what are some of the Bodify treats, okay, that you say, like, this is what makes amazing Bodify, and you can tell people, like, you can find those at Bodify, or if you want to look somewhere else, make sure you find these treats in that place.
Yeah, look, we're always innovating. I think that's, like I said, I was going toward it. Everybody has community. Orange Theory has their community. F45 has a community. Triumphant has their community. Every place has their community. What sets us apart is we balance science with fun. We truly do it for the right reasons. Every decision we make, as a staff, as coaches, we make it. How do we make it better for the member? We brought hybrid racing to Laredo. We brought it to South Texas. We were one of the first ones in the United States to adopt hybrid DECA racing. I think we were one of the first 5 in the world. Okay. So, we innovate, we buy equipment. Soon everybody has that type of equipment, but we had it first. We train a certain way, and I don't get upset when people copy what we do, because we're doing it for the right reasons and we're doing a good job at it. So the little traits and nuggets is training and pushing our members to do things that are out of their comfort zone, in a safe way, properly trained, and to get people to do, look, for 2 years in a row, we got people to do 30-plus-mile races, you know. Now, that's easy to say. Like, hey, let's all go do that. But how do you properly train somebody, you know, to get ready for that, to have 100% finish rate 2 years in a row, multiple people? That's hard to do, you know, and now we're doing that on the regular, you know. I'm tooting our horn here a little bit, but I'm proud of the ability of my coaches to be able to do that, to be that our facility can do that. I think last year or the year before, we took like 60 people to DECA Austin. You know, there was some podiums there. This last one, I don't know how many podiums we got. And then just the little individual stories that, you know, has nothing to do with racing, but that that you hear, that touch your heart, that they lost this amount of weight, that they're not sick anymore, that they're off this medication, that, this is the best job in the world, man. And I think we do it the best, and I'll fight anybody that tells me that we don't do it the best. And I'll give you reasons why.
So that's exactly what you need to find in another gym, pretty much. And for those of you that probably don't know this, and probably Pete did it unconscious, but he literally mentioned in a way the Bodify values. Okay, one of them is passion. Okay, we are passionate about fitness. We are passionate about helping other people. Okay, innovation. That is something big. Tech, equipment, classes, coaching programs. Right now, we were talking about accountability, the challenges, everything, empowerment, pushing people into another level, into another standard, raising their bar, and obviously, family. That is something super, super important. And that is something you guys have a Spotify, right? And
Absolutely. I was going to let you list it out. I wanted to give you examples on all of our values. So I'm glad you caught that. I wanted to show everybody that our values are real. We live by them. Every meeting we have, we go over our values and our standards. And because that's how important they are. Every decision we make is based on what we stand for. That they're not just words on a wall, they are what this business lives by. So, we never make a decision that is going to go against any of our values or our purpose. And that's the way we run the business.
Exactamente. So whenever you stop by another gym, ask, what are your values? ¿Cuáles son tus values?
Okay. Ask them and ask any of anybody that works there. And if even the newest person can't answer it, I'll put them up against mine, because mine are trained to answer those questions from day one. It's ingrained into their head because it needs to mean something to them. Because if you don't believe in them, you can't work for us, because that's how important they are. So yes, we ingrain it into every employee there at Bodify, for sure.
Oye, Pete, y por ejemplo, una de las cosas que ahorita right now we're talking about the values, so talking about the heart. Una de las cosas que también me encantaba, o sea, obviamente cuando estaba en Laredo, y obviamente si me pregunta alguien de Laredo a dónde los voy a mandar, es a Bodify, y es un lugar, porque a pesar desde antes de que estuviera ahí, era un lugar que me daba la confianza y de decirle a cualquier persona, oye, quiero comenzar ejercicio, Bodify. Una de las cosas que tienen que ustedes ver y entender es que, y créanme, si van a una clase de prueba, lo van a ver, es que la clase puede ser modificada a ti, ¿ok? Y no sin importar el nivel fitness que lleves, te van a modificar la clase para ti. Ahora, si eres una persona que ya tiene un nivel bastante alto, también se puede modificar, ¿eh? Créeme. Hay una manera de que te puedan ayudar o ya si tú hablas directamente con el coach te va a guiar un poquito más, ya sea con el número de repeticiones, la intensidad, el RPE, todo lo que tengas que saber de cómo sacarle mejor provecho a esas clases. Y creo que eso es una de las cosas también que mes a mes los coaches también platican, también ven al momento de programar y es algo que creo que también es único, ¿eh? No nada más son workouts súper difíciles que se encontraron en Instagram o en TikTok por ahí, ¿no?
No, yeah. It's in our name. It's body, modify, bodify. It's the ability, that's what sets us apart, is the ability to modify up and modify down. Not only modify down, okay? Because we can also make it more difficult. So everything that we program, you need to have the ability to modify it up for a person that's been a more advanced athlete. You need to challenge them, so the coach knows, okay, I can modify this up to satisfy his needs or her needs. Or you get the beginner that's there on the first day, and maybe they're standing right next to each other, and the coach has to be able to handle that. So you're doing this for me because you need to modify up, and I need to, challenge you. But you're right next to the person whose first day it is, So I need to modify that down for you. And that's what sets my coaches apart, is the ability to do that on the fly in a group setting. Group classes are wonderful because they're fun, and it's not like working out on your own. Working out on your own eventually gets boring, but when you do it in a group setting with a coach with that kind of ability, then it's perfection. It really is, to be able to do that. That's why we need talented coaches to be able to accept that challenge and to challenge everybody in that class. So I think that's another thing that sets Bodify apart, for sure.
Yeah, and one thing that you just mentioned that it's also like, como dices, coaching, modifying down and modifying up, perdón, ¿ok?
Right.
Sí, es como, y esta es una pregunta para ti, ¿cómo esto se volvió en una misión de Bodify? O sea, ¿cómo ver el potencial en algo que mucha gente puede ver como una deficiencia, algo que no estás haciendo bien o algo que puedes hacer mejor? ¿Cómo viste o vieron esto ustedes y dijeron, esta va a ser nuestra misión? O sea, hacer esos deficiencias como oportunidades de mejora o ver el potencial de alguien y decir, esta persona podemos darle más potencial aún.
I think it came early on in Bodify, because I had no experience with group training, so it was a lot of learning on the fly. So it was getting these classes, and then you get the different level of athlete, different capabilities of people, and over time you could see that this person needed more, and if you don't give them more, they're going to get bored or they're going to stop seeing results. And really, that's why people go to the gym. Community's great, everything's great, but what's the most important thing why people go to a fitness facility is to get results. So if I stop challenging you, then I'm not challenging your physical fitness, and you're not going to get any results. So it almost started morphing into what our class turned into, is I need to be flexible. And I think it got that flexibility in to be able to, when I'm preparing for a class and when my coaches are preparing for a class, I'm looking at all the stations that are present for that day. And in my head, I'm putting into my pocket, a modification up and a modification down. So I know that I'm going in prepared, that I can challenge everybody in that class, because we learned early on that if we just stay very unflexible, that the people that are getting better are going to be held back by the beginners. You know, if we're all doing the same thing, you know, the same way. So that gave us that flexibility. And I think it turned it into what it is now, to where it's this big flexible machine that very talented, prepared coaches can do. And it really makes it to where, like I said, there could be a person day one intimidated out of their mind next to this super athlete right next to them, you know, and they could be both having the best class of their lives, you know, and that's the magic that happens in a Bodify classroom.
Y una de las cosas también que a la gente que nos escucha o que nos está escuchando en otro momento es, una de las cosas también, digo, ya lo hemos platicado, que Bodify está hecho con pasión, con mucho conocimiento, con ciencia, obviamente ahí lo que aporta también coaches como Tony, como Dan, Nino, todos los demás coaches, cada quien tiene una especialidad y experiencia en todo lo que hacen. Mr. Pedro Sáenz también es una gran influencia en los miembros y en la audiencia. No por quemarlo, pero el señor ya tiene 51 años. Pero obviamente sé que, digo, no desde ahorita, no porque ya tiene 50 y ya Pete está buscando pues mantenerse en forma y todo eso. Yo desde que lo conozco, Pete ha sido una persona de las más disciplinadas en cuanto a longevidad, y eso es alguna de las cosas que él también ha querido transmitir a los miembros. Es por eso que si ustedes buscan un gimnasio que van a entrar a una clase y van a salir súper madreados cada vez que entran a esa clase, Bodify no es para ustedes, ¿ok? Esa no es lo que van a encontrar en Bodify. En Bodify van a encontrar workouts, coaches que van a evolucionar contigo, no te van a castigar, no te van a madrear en la clase prácticamente. Entonces, no es el chiste de encontrar modas, innovación. No modas, sino innovación, ¿ok? Y una de las cosas que muy fuerte se están ahorita también enfocando en Bodify es en la longevidad, en que ustedes puedan tener más energía, más vida, y creo que, digo, ahorita lo estamos diciendo nosotros, pero pueden preguntarle a cualquiera de miembros de nosotros que tienen probablemente más de 7, 6, 5 años con nosotros, y como ellos son otras personas totalmente, y creo que, o sea, ya es parte de su vida, ¿no? Y creo que es algo que muchos debemos de tomar en cuenta en cuanto a ahorita divertirnos con todo este fitness, pero también ver todo el beneficio que estamos obteniendo para longevidad, que esa es la palabra clave, ¿no?
You said it right, man. You know, I think as you get older, you know, you understand what's important, you know, and maybe in your 20s and in your 30s, you're not thinking about this, but as you get into your 50s, like I am, it's not, the most important thing is I want to live a life where I can do whatever I want until the day that I die, that I can enjoy my family, I can enjoy kids, I can enjoy grandkids, I can go Spartan race, I can go Deca race, High Rocks race, I can do whatever the fuck I want, you know, and that to me is freedom, you know, and I think that feeling good, you know, looking good is a byproduct of living a fit life, you know, you're gonna look better, you know, but what is more important than that is feeling better. You know, you want to be old, or, you know, old, where that number's high and you feel that old, or I don't care what the number says, you know, I feel like I did 10 years ago or 20 years ago. That's the important thing, you know, so that's what I'm preaching. As I've gotten to this age, I'm, you know, talking about it now, and I'm letting people know what's important, what you're gonna, what do you want when you're in your 50s, and I want to be an example of what you can be in your 50s, and that's why, you know, beyond loving what I do, is I want to tell people, like, you're not old at 51. I'm not going to be old at 61. I'm not going to be old at 71. You know, I'm not going to be old ever. And I want, and I don't, I want that to be the norm. You know, that's what I want normal to be. Uh, I want the members at Bodify to know that it's not impossible. I'm not a freak for, you know, believing in this. It's just a little change in your lifestyle. I guarantee it's worth it. You know, it's all about longevity. You know, who wants to die sick? You know, it's if you want to talk truthfully, you know, it's you don't want that. I know none of you want that, because if I go and I interview you when you're sick and you're at the end of your life and you're going to tell me, I would give anything to go back 10 years and feel like I did 10 years ago. I would go do anything. I would give you all my money, every cent in my bank account, if I could just be healthy. I guarantee you, you're going to say that. So why not just change your lifestyle now and enjoy the rest of your, there's nothing that I don't enjoy about it now. You know, it's like, yes, he wakes up at 4 in the morning, sometimes 5 in the morning. I enjoy it. You know, I go to sleep early now. I don't go out to bars anymore. You know what? You know, it's not a sacrifice for me at this point anymore. It's that I've made this enjoyable to myself. It's my normal. So that's the example. That's what I try to preach to everybody that walks through the doors. And anybody that follows me on social media, you know, you'll notice a common theme that I'm putting out there, and it's that, you know, it's all about longevity and enjoying your life, you know.
Dice por acá Robert Inestrosa. So, Robert, mobility equals quality of life.
Absolutely.
Y por acá.
Mobility, flexibility, for sure.
Y acá tenemos a David Valdespino.
Hey, I have only been a member since April. Never in my life after the military did I ever imagine doing what I do in Bodify. Spartan Ultra and a lot more. The motivation, innovation, brotherhood, discipline, accountability, the coach to athlete attention, and a lot more is at Bodify. Doing hard shit. Thank you, Bodify Functional Fitness Team. Hell yeah. Donna saying hi to Chuy. Hey, Don, how you doing?
Hi, Donna.
Glad you guys are on. What else do we got? Tone 2014.
Tony said about when we were talking about gold gym days.
Oh, I used to always wear a white t-shirt. He used to make fun of me all the time.
Yeah, he would always get there like at the 6 a.m. class. It was like the widow with the white t-shirt.
Yeah. It wasn't Haynes, it was Calvin Klein, cabrón.
Por acá tenemos a Dayanira Citlali Valdespino, tagging Raúl Uribe, checa las promociones, Raúl. Pon atención, Raúl. Y Alexis Alvarado.
IROC season, Alexis. Yeah, Alexis is in my I think we're racing at the same time. So I'll see you at the start line, Alexis. Game on, Papa. Yeah. So yeah, man. It's you know, Bodify is an important thing. You know, I think we're doing things the right way for the right reasons. I think we've set ourselves apart, and I know I'm bragging a little bit, and it's not just because I'm an owner, but it's because I truly believe in what we do. I know we do it for the right reasons. I think the stories that I hear every day tell me that we're on the right track. And it's an exciting time to be a member at Bodify. I truly think 2026 is going to be our best year, in the sense that we've figured out a lot. You know, I think our programming is on point. I think this new thing that we're bringing to you guys is going to explode in a great way. All the events that we're going to have will keep you guys accountable and make just provide a lot of fun things to do. Um, it's always good to have a little bit of competition, and I think these events bring out that great part of competing and competing with other people and competing against yourself. Just it's not always about another person. Most of the time it's just the person in the mirror, and what you did yesterday, and you're getting a little bit better every day. And I truly believe that Bodify has great things planned for its members in 2026.
And the difference between Bodify y cualquier otro lugar, recuerden, no es nada más ir a hacer workouts, es ser parte de una comunidad donde te van a apoyar coaches y los miembros. Y una de las cosas que también sé que no nada más Pete se preocupa es también los coaches. Y los coaches, yo sé que ellos les encanta y están emocionados de crear esa hora en la cual te están dando una clase a ti, que sea la mejor hora de tu día. ¿Ok? Y esa es, creo que, una obsesión saludable, divertida que tienen los coaches de hacer que esa hora en la cual ustedes saquen su estrés, distraigan su mente de su día, ya podrán ustedes regresar a la realidad más tarde y todo eso, pero que esa hora sea de ustedes y que la disfruten y que desde luego obtengan pues un gran beneficio, ¿no?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, it's Bodify mixes the right amount of science with the right amount of fun with the right amount of results. If you do your part and you show up and you take care of your nutrition, and that's a big part of it too, guys. But if you do that, you do your part, we got you. We provide everything you need to get to your goal. The programming, the facility, the weights, the equipment that we have, everything to get you there. Okay, you just need to show up and do your part when you get at home, because it balances everything. We've figured it out through all these years, and I guarantee you we have. I don't want to say perfected it because we're constantly changing it and then making it better, but it's the best version that it's ever been, the way it is right now. And 2026, I'm gonna do a little innovation too. We're gonna get a little bit better in this new project that we're doing. So I'll put us up against anybody. Yeah, I believe in what we do, and the results show.
Perfecto. ¿Qué más, Pedro?
I think.
¿Qué se nos queda afuera?
I think that's it, man. I know we've gone a little long here. I could talk about this shit forever.
I know, right?
I think I'll
We
save.
can both talk about it. Chingos.
I know. It's I kind of want to talk about the differences in what we do with other types of facilities. But we'll save that podcast for another time. Because I want people to understand what exactly we do and why we're so good at it, and getting results for people. Because it's a fun place to be. I take a lot of pride in it. If you can't tell, I'm very prideful, and we love the members. I get the benefit of getting all these messages, man, and especially since I started the social media project of mine where I'm putting out a lot of content, but I get a lot of feedback, man, and that's the most beautiful part of it.
I know, right?
So, I take so much, like I have to put something out because I want that feedback, man. Like it really feeds the soul. I get all the good stuff. I get hard stuff, and it really has turned into another passion project for me. Is so keep on sending me the stuff. It's I'm so glad that I did it.
I've been wanting to catch up.
Yes, you have to, man. It's
I've been trying.
it's it really does feed the soul, and it makes it worthwhile for me. It doesn't seem like work because I get to talk to you guys. It keeps me very involved in your guys' lives, and really, that's what's important to me is staying in contact with everybody and answering questions and being helpful and providing answers. And if I don't have the answer, to get the answer for you, that way everybody gets what they need. And I believe that's what I was put on earth to do. So
Yeah,
that's what
and
makes
you
me
know what I've
happy.
been also like noticing, and this is something I got because you were either about to do it or started doing it, which is like journaling.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
I right now I'm only journaling Mondays.
yeah.
Y muchas veces cuando escribo,
Mhm.
viene buenas cosas de toda la semana, ¿no? De lo que
For sure.
pasó en la semana y creo que esto es otro podcast aparte, pero de lo
Yeah,
que
yeah.
también,
This is a good subject for sure.
sí, y también planear la semana, o sea, ver cuál es el objetivo de la semana y todo eso. Y todo eso me ha llevado a escribir cosas que las leo y digo, ay, güey, las escribí, like, did I wrote this? Like, son cosas muy
Yeah.
padres porque me ha tocado ahorita también estar, obviamente, una de las cosas también por las cuales quería estar en la Ciudad de México era por rodearme también con más gente, ¿no? Seguir aprendiendo más. Y creo que me ha dado la oportunidad también de tener esos acercamientos con otras personas y aprender mucho más en otros sentidos. Pero también voy a tratar de alcanzar a Pedro Sáenz y compartir mucho de esto que está escrito. Tengo ya, no sé, como media libreta. So, just
Nice.
good stuff coming up.
It
Nomás, I need
helps.
to find.
Go
Is
ahead.
it,
Go. No, finish.
ahorita te digo, ahorita nada más estoy obviamente tengo mi horario de trabajo y luego también tengo que grabarlo de la radio. Ahorita lo estoy haciendo casi a diario. Estilo Vida 102.3, lunes a viernes, 4 a 7 de la tarde, en Laredos.
Get that plug
Entonces, eh, it's challenging to be switching.
for sure. But it's important because it you can almost analyze, how things are going, and what's working, what's not working, what stresses you out, and start focusing on the things that are doing the most good for you or the most good for people. In my sense, is like what takes away, what are the things that I don't like doing, and what are the things that I really really enjoy doing, and start focusing what my day looks like on the things that bring me happiness and bring happiness to other people. Like I said, I think that's what my job is, and is service, and the service of others, and this is how I'm doing it. This is what I think I do well, and so just writing it down makes it real and makes it like, okay, I did that the other day, this brought me some happiness, let's continue to do that, and kind of leave the stuff that either you're not good at or don't bring you happiness, kind of leave that behind.
We
So
should make that podcast también happen.
I
Journaling.
agree. That one is coming up. I think our next podcast will be more about the new stuff that we're rolling out. But maybe after that we can do one on journaling, and then also we have another one on peptides. I really want to get into peptides. So if you guys have any peptide question or modern medicine stuff, send me some questions, and we'll address that in a few weeks as well. So that's what's on the docket for
Perfecto.
Bodify After Hours. But yeah, man, it's always good to see you.
You too, man.
Good
Mucha
luck.
suerte mañana.
Yeah, well, I'm not racing tomorrow, but some of the girls are.
No.
And for me, Saturday morning, wish me luck, man. I'm sure I'm going to go against some super athletes, man. And so we'll see. I'm going to push till the wheels fall off, Chuy. Let's see how far this old man can go.
Dale.
and kick some ass, and hopefully I'm super proud of them already, you know. But that DHS program, man, they're killing it, you know. So I got some high hopes for some of the people that were in that program. I think Bodify is going to do some damage in this race, so I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun
I don't know,
weekend.
but there's a PS4 guy talking a lot of shit, so careful.
Well, you know that those PS guys, they do talk a lot of shit, but we need to back it up. So, Mr. PS4, you need to back your shit up. Don't embarrass me. Nah, he's getting faster, man. So we'll see what he can do. And you too. Good luck on Sunday, man.
Thank you.
Don't die in that Mexico City altitude. And
Fun fact.
What's
Fun fact: it's 1,000 feet higher from where I live right now and where I work. So
where you're gonna race?
Yeah, it's called Expo Santa Fe. So it's 1,000 feet higher.
Nice. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
So wherever High Rocks was, now there's an extra 1,000 feet.
Another 1,000 feet. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, damn. I'm sure it's gonna be great. You know, it's DECA. Shouldn't take you too long.
I know.
So we'll talk about it on Monday, I'm sure. And guys, thank you for watching. Good luck to everybody that's racing this weekend. We got the Spartans in San Antonio as well that we didn't mention. Good luck to you guys. They're doing Saturday and Sunday. There's trifecta weekend over there. We got the High Rocks people here. We got Chuy in Mexico City. This is what Bodify does, man. We're all around the world competing, having fun, and doing fitness right. So love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
This episode was produced by Bodify Functional Fitness.